Hello, my name is James, and I will be your Ielts examiner today. Could you tell me your name, please?
My name is Mohammed. Nice to meet you, James.
Okay, and before we start, could I see your identification?
There you go.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And we're going to start with part one of the test. And this part of the test is an interview. I'm going to ask you some questions and I would like you to answer them as fully as you can. The first topic we're going to talk about is your work or studies. So, let's start. Are you a student or do you work?
Well, actually, I am a student. I'm a KGSP student. I took the scholarship back in 2019, and then I moved to Ielts University. First of all, I took the language school. I studied like Korean for 1 year, and then now I'm studying mechanical engineering.
Okay. And what is your university like?
My university, as it is known, it's the most expensive university in Korea. It's pretty rich, fancy. The education is pretty well. I feel like I'm pretty understanding the material in Yonsei. I understand that I feel like I have a future after graduating from Yonsei.
Okay. And so what do you like about being a student?
The part that I still do not care about anything about work, regarding work. I mean, like, I'm a student, so I still have like less responsibilities. I live up my life. I just focus on my GPA, studying hard, at the same time having fun with my friends.
Okay. And what's your major?
My major is mechanical engineering. The part that I love about my major, which is mechanical engineering, is that I can pretty build up things from scratch that is on paper. Like, I actually transform these paper problems into reality. This is what I
Okay.
like.
And is there anything you don't like about being a student?
The part that I don't like about being a student is basically that I don't like studying online. Actually, because of COVID, we've transferred everything into online classes. So I'm actually popular. I like meeting friends. I'm outgoing. Unfortunately, because of COVID, now the whole studying is online, which is pretty annoying for me.
Okay, good. We're going to go on and talk a little bit about free time
Right.
in this part. So, do you have a lot of free time?
Unfortunately, no, I don't, because being a student actually takes like a lot of time to study, especially if you're a mechanical engineer. If you're a mechanical engineer, you study a lot of things: fluid mechanics, physics, dynamics. You study a lot of things, and it's not like you understand the lesson and that's it. No, you have to work on yourself. You have to solve as many problems as you can.
Okay. Do you spend your free time outside or inside mostly?
Like I said, I'm pretty friendly, outgoing. I like meeting new people. I like introducing myself to a new crowd. So I feel being outside is much better than being trapped inside.
So, what kind of places do you like to go to meet people?
Oh, I like going to parks. I like going to cinemas. I like going to cafes. I don't like going to bars or nightclubs though. I like going to restaurants, new restaurants. Trying a lot of cuisines like Pakistani food or Uzbek food.
Okay. And is there any free time activities that you want to try in the future?
Let me think. I guess the activity that I would like to try in the future is participating in IEEE. Back in the day, actually, when I was studying in Cairo University, I studied there for 3 years. I actually participated in IEEE, one of the most prestigious student activities all over the globe. I did like build up some robots from scratch with my team, but unfortunately I can't try anything of that because of COVID. Like there's no student activities, nothing at all. So if there's something I would like to try, I would like to participate in IEEE once again and try to build up robots.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of part one.
Right.
And we're going to move on to part two. And in part two, I'm going to give you a topic on this card. You will have 1 minute to prepare an answer. You can make some notes, and then you will speak about that topic for around 1 or 2 minutes.
Right.
Okay, so you can start preparing your answer now. Okay, that's your 1 minute, so you can start speaking now.
Okay, so the event or the festival I would like to talk about is the Halloween party back in 2020. I was studying the language school back then in Someone University, right before I move on to Ielts University. So the event actually was held at Ielts University campus. I was the host of the event. I was feeling pretty nervous. I was like, oh my God, I can't do that. There's a lot of people in front of me and I have to speak in Korean. My Korean then was not as good as now. At least I could say pretty basic stuff. So being host was pretty troublesome for me. However, I try to encourage myself. It's just like one of my new experience. There's nothing to worry about. Just be brave, get in there, try it. I eventually overcame my fears and I did it.
Okay. And did the other people enjoy this event?
Yes, they did. I guess actually there was a lot of activities, people dancing, a lot of variety of people coming from different places of the world, like Uzbek people, Japanese people, Chinese people. Each group actually was performing their traditional or typical dancing, as well as there was actually pretty like a different variety of food. Like we had French, we had Uzbek, Pakistani, we have Indian food. We had a lot of pretty different sweets as well. We had like Arabian sweets. We had also like Korean cuisine. So people enjoyed food, enjoyed fun. They had a lot of good time back then.
Okay, and would you like to do this again?
Being the host, I don't think so, because actually, like I said, I was pretty feeling nervous. However, if I would like to do it once again, I would like to be this time like one of the crowds, enjoying my time without any fears, without thinking whether the crowd actually or the audience is having fun or not. I just want to enjoy my time.
Okay, very good. And that's the end of part two. We're now going to move on to part three of the test. And part three of the test is more of a discussion. And it's on the same topic as part two, about special events or festivals.
All right.
So we've been talking about the festival or the event that you liked and you organized. So why do you think celebrations and festivals are so important?
First of all, it releases stress. As you know, a lot of students have pretty too much stress studying. They are pressured, especially if you are in Korea. Like, if you're in Korea, pretty much like you have to have a future, so you study a bit harder, and and therefore actually like you study, you lock yourself up in your room, you study a lot, you solve a lot of problems, trying to ace out your grades. So actually having celebrations or having parties, first of all, releases a little bit of stress off the students' shoulders, as well as it actually gives you pretty like good time, good fun. It makes you feel happy. Like, you can understand actually like students, uh, like they feel more connected when they meet each other instead of just being trapped in their room, so it increases their communication skills.
Okay. And do you think celebrations are experienced differently between generations? So, like your mother and father and your generation, is that different?
Of course, it's different. I mean, my parents, when they celebrated back in 1990 or something, maybe all they did was just like gathering together, sitting there without doing anything. But if you look at our modern celebration right now, you'll see people performing dancing, no no type of dancing. You see people actually have a different new types of food they didn't have back in 1990. You see people actually enjoying more fun with extra activities that was not back then. Like one of the games actually I like is the it's a game regarding bowls or related to bowls. So you put actually like one spoon in your you put one spoon in your mouth, and then like you move around without the bowl falling off the spoon. So I guess like it wasn't back then. That's why.
Okay. So, do you think international events, so like you have talked about with your Halloween party, do you think international events like that help to kind of promote cooperation between people from other countries?
I do think so. Like, actually, I met a lot of friends from parties or celebrations. For instance, I have met one of my best friends who's studying right now in Hanyang University. He's actually from Congo. Without actually this celebration or without this party, I wouldn't have known my best friend. So I guess yes, actually it connects people together, it brings people together, it boosts their communication level. So I would think celebration has a robust, strong connection with communication and bringing people together.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you very much, Mo. That's the end of the Ielts test.
Thank you so much
Thank you
again.
for your time.
Thank you so much.
So, what are your overall feelings about today's test?
Well, I was feeling a bit nervous at the beginning. Like it's been a while since I took like last TOEFL exam. I felt like, oh my God, like how to respond, how to construct my ideas, how to build up my answer. This is what I was feeling nervous about. However, as I said, I just like to go out there, be brave, and overcome my fears.
Okay, and which part did you find most difficult?
The last part, I thought I didn't think of an answer. I just tried like to answer to build up like an answer or try to come up with anything that just passes through my mind. Actually, my best friend actually studying in Korea University, but I couldn't have time like to to think about Korea. I just made up any university, Hanyang University, and I just said it.
Okay, yeah. Which part did you find the easiest?
The first part, although like the first part was pretty I was worried about the first part because it was like, this is at the beginning of the interview. So how would I answer? How would I think? Or how would I build up my sentence structure? This is what I was feeling worried about. However, it seems like it was pretty easy. Why? Because it was just like about my normal life. Like, are you a student or not? I could think of my own experience, try to come up with an answer and put it out there without like too much work.
Okay. And are there any topics that you would have liked to have talked about in the test?
Other topics I would have liked talking about during the test? Yes, I guess. Actually, like, I thought about, oh my God, why I didn't talk about my girlfriend? Like, I met my girlfriend actually in the language school. And also, like, maybe we actually became like more closer thanks to the party celebration we had together. We've had actually like every week or 2 weeks a party in the campus, like in like gathering up people. Like we actually gather up people ourselves and then like make a party. Our bond actually like became more stronger, me and my girlfriend, thanks to those celebrations. So why didn't you talk about it? I don't know.
Okay. And what do you think? What about your score? If you were taking the Ielts test for real, do you think you did well? Do you think you got a high score?
I'm not sure if I got high score because maybe like the idea construction wasn't pretty like perfect. All I could say, like I could talk. Yeah, I was talking. It seems like I was talking from the beginning to the end, but maybe like one answer or one question or two, like my answer for those questions pretty wasn't coherent. So I'll say I'll get average score.
Maybe a bit more than average. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much,
Thank
Mo.
you so much.
That was
Thank
great.
you for having me here.
Okay.